Food is absolutely essential to human life, and eating the right amounts of the right foods is the key to good health. It's really true that we are what we eat, because food supplies the raw materials from which our bodies are made. Food also supplies us with the energy we need to keep our bodies going, and that makes it even more important. With so many food choices available to us today, it's not always easy to know what to eat or how to balance our food intake with the right amount of physical activity. That's why in this program, we are going to learn all about a new approach to healthful living called MyPlate that is specially designed to help us make wise choices when it comes to food and exercise. Our health is very much affected by what we eat, how much we eat, and the way we eat. Excess body weight, for example, is the source of many eating-related health problems. For one thing, having lots of extra weight has led to an epidemic in type 2 diabetes, a chronic disease caused by having too much sugar in the bloodstream. If left untreated, type 2 diabetes can lead to blindness, heart attacks, and a number of other very serious diseases. Diseases that cost Americans billions of dollars a year to treat. Added body weight always makes the heart work harder, which contributes to high blood pressure or hypertension, a second chronic disease that affects over 1/3 of adults in our country today. High blood pressure is a leading cause of stroke, which occurs when tiny blood vessels inside the skull burst open and destroy delicate brain tissue, which causes paralysis. High blood pressure and high-fat diets join forces to increase cardiovascular disease, a chronic illness that causes the blood vessels to narrow and harden. Cardiovascular disease damages hearts too, and they often end up needing surgery. But even though all these diseases may sound pretty bad, the good news is that, in most cases, every one of them can be prevented simply by eating well and keeping physically active. Human beings completely depend on food for the energy needed to carry out physical activities, like running and walking, and for the energy that's needed to keep their hearts, lungs, and other organs going too. When scientists measure the energy in food, they do so in calories, because calories are units of heat energy. For example, a typical apple contains about 110 calories of stored energy, enough to power a compact fluorescent light bulb like this one for about 2 hours. By comparison, one slice of cheesecake contains about 350 calories of stored energy, enough to power the same bulb for slightly over 6 hours. When it comes to weight control, a good basic guideline to follow is to avoid high-calorie foods and to try to balance the calories you take in with the calories that your body burns off each day in physical activity. Because if not enough calories are burned, the excess energy will be used to make fat. Nutrients are naturally occurring chemical substances present in food that are essential to our survival, good health, and growth. For example, the nutrients known as carbohydrates provide our bodies with an excellent source of readily available energy, energy that is especially useful in the brain and nervous system. There are two basic types of carbohydrates: sugars, or simple carbohydrates, which are found in sweet foods like fruits and candies, and starches, or complex carbohydrates, like those found in bread, rice, potatoes, and pasta. Starches are really just long chains of simple sugars chemically bonded together, and that's why eating starchy foods always increases blood sugar. Vitamins are a collection of 13 chemically diverse nutrients that help do all kinds of things in the body. Vitamins are commonly taken in pills called vitamin supplements, but all of them occur naturally in healthful food. Green leafy vegetables, for example, contain lots of vitamin K, which is needed for proper blood clotting. Proteins, which are abundant in foods like eggs, meat, and beans, are nitrogen-rich essential nutrients made from long chains of the chemical building blocks called amino acids. Proteins contain the same amount of stored energy as carbohydrates. But proteins also supply the raw materials needed to build muscle tissue and to make and repair cells. Minerals are essential chemical elements that are found in a wide variety of foods that perform many important roles in our bodies. We need to consume 22 different minerals to stay healthy. For example, we need the minerals sodium and potassium to help carry nerve signals to and from the brain. Iron helps carry oxygen in our blood. And the mineral calcium is needed for healthy bones and teeth. The next essential nutrient is water. The human body is more than 60% water, so obviously it's very important to life. That's because water is the basic medium of blood. It's needed for digestion, the excretion of wastes, and water provides a suitable environment for the thousands of life-supporting activities that take place inside of our cells. That's why, to stay healthy, we need to drink about 8 glasses of water every day. The final category of nutrients are fats. Fats are very high in stored energy. In fact, they contain more than twice the energy, meaning twice the calories, of carbohydrates and proteins. Besides providing the body with energy, fats are needed to absorb important vitamins into the bloodstream. Fats are also needed to make and maintain cell membranes and hormones. Some fish and vegetable oils contain omega-3 fatty acids, essential nutrients that also help prevent heart disease. Fats are important to understand because some of them are healthful and others are actually harmful. For example, unsaturated fats, fats that are liquid at room temperature, such as vegetable oils, are generally healthful when consumed in small amounts and can help prevent stroke. While saturated fats that are usually solid at room temperature, such as butter and bacon fat, can be harmful. Food processors often use a chemical reaction known as hydrogenation to change liquid unsaturated fats into more solid saturated fats. The partially hydrogenated trans fats widely used in fast foods and snack foods are especially harmful because, just like saturated fats, they increase artery-clogging bad LDL cholesterol. That's why it's wise to avoid eating greasy foods that contain a lot of these fats, and why it's good to stick with foods that are low in cholesterol too. In addition to the essential nutrients we've just learned about, some foods contain helpful non-nutrients that work to improve health but aren't actually essential to life. One of the best examples of a helpful non-nutrient is the indigestible dietary fiber found in foods like grains, fruits, and vegetables. Fiber helps keep the digestive tract healthy, stabilizes blood sugar levels, and helps prevent the buildup of harmful LDL cholesterol in the bloodstream. In addition to fiber, other helpful non-nutrients, called phytochemicals, such as the isoflavones found in soybeans and soy-based foods, seem to help protect the body from cancer and other diseases. The MyPlate eating guidelines divide foods into 5 basic groups that are the foundation of a healthy diet. The first group, the grains, are carbohydrate-rich foods consisting of cereal grains such as wheat, corn, and rice, and all the foods made from them. These include foods like bread, pasta, breakfast cereals, and tortillas. Grain-based foods are further divided into 2 smaller groups. Whole grain foods, which are made from the entire kernel of grain, and the less nutritious refined grains, which are not. As you might expect, the vegetables group consists of all types of vegetables, as well as 100% vegetable juice, while the fruits group consists of all types of fruits and 100% fruit juice. The dairy group consists mainly of calcium-rich, low-fat milk and milk products like cheese and yogurt. Calcium-fortified soy milk is also part of this food group. But foods made from milk that have little or no calcium, such as cream and butter, are not included in the dairy group. The proteins group consists of many foods that come from animals, such as meat, eggs, and seafood. But it also includes certain high-protein foods from plants, such as nuts, seeds, and beans. A perfectly well-balanced plate of food should be half proteins and grains and half fruits and vegetables. We should eat slightly more grains than protein and slightly more vegetables than fruits. And we should consume fewer dairy products than any other foods. Eating healthy, well-balanced meals can be a challenge, but by following these 10 tips to a great plate, your chances of success will definitely be improved. The first thing to do is to learn to balance calories. The simplest way to do this is to go to www.choosemyplate.gov and check out the daily food plan. Enter your personal information, along with the amount of exercise you plan on doing, to find out how many calories you should be consuming each day. Then, click on each of the different food groups to get more detailed advice. With all this information in hand, you'll be able to make wise decisions when it comes to your food and eating habits. Next, learn to enjoy your food but eat less. That's because eating too fast, or when your attention is elsewhere, often leads to eating too many calories. Also, try to be aware of when to eat and when you've had enough by paying special attention to your own personal hunger and fullness cues. Third, avoid oversized portions, or even use smaller plates, bowls, and glasses to avoid consuming excess calories. Fourth, try to eat certain foods more often, especially fruits, whole grains, low or no-fat dairy products, and red, yellow, orange, green, and other vegetables. These foods have all of the nutrients you need for good health, so base most of your meals and snacks on them. Fifth, make half your plate fruits and vegetables. It doesn't matter whether they are raw, cooked, canned, or dried. Fruits and vegetables are always very good for you. Sixth, switch to fat-free or low-fat milk and milk products. They have the same amount of calcium and other essential nutrients as whole milk, but have a lot fewer calories and much less saturated fat. Seventh, make half your grains whole grains instead of refined grains. They are great sources of dietary fiber and many essential nutrients. So try to eat whole wheat bread instead of white bread, and brown rice instead of white rice. Eighth, eat certain foods less often. Try to cut back on foods high in added sugars, salt, and solid fats. That means avoid foods like hot dogs, French fries, pizza, and bacon, as well as cake, cookies, ice cream, candy, and sweetened drinks. Consume these foods as occasional treats, not as a steady diet. Ninth, compare sodium in foods. Lots of sodium is present in salt, and while sodium is an essential mineral, too much of it increases blood pressure. So cut back on salt and be sure to check nutrition facts labels to choose lower sodium foods. And finally, try to drink water instead of sugary drinks. Sodas, energy drinks, and sports drinks are a major source of calories in American diets. Cutting down on them will help you maintain a proper weight. So these are the 10 tips to a healthy plate. Learn them and put them to use as much as possible. And remember, when it comes to the recommendations on food group portions, it's not important to follow them every time you eat. Instead, aim for achieving these goals over an entire week's worth of meals. Also, keep in mind that we don't all have to be great athletes either, but it is important to be active. So get up and get as much exercise as you can, and do it in ways that you can enjoy. Once you start eating right and exercising regularly, it won't be long before you begin feeling and looking a whole lot better.